Boogie drop that beat.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Talking Out Loud with Miss Talkative. Everything I say is my own opinion, alleged, and strictly entertainment purposes. Remember, I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, and let me know what you think. So apparently, Yuck Mouth, Shitty Mouth Arionne is having diarrhea of the mouth again. When she did her live last week, and I said that she was popping out trying to test the waters on social media to see if it was safe for her to come out and, you know, start speaking again. And apparently that's exactly what she was doing, because for her to actually have to call up somebody now to address Sexgate. Sexgate was about a month or two ago. So if she didn't address it then and she choked, punked out, and basically ghost everybody, why are you addressing it now? You wasn't able to show any receipts or make yourself believable in the whole Sexgate scandal. So you should have just left it buried. People found out that just how dumb you were and what lengths that you would go to for Martell and to protect Martell, and it pretty much died down. Whatever is being handled behind the scenes, but because whatever's going to happen hasn't touched you yet, you feel like it won't ever. So you got cocky enough to get on to make a call to someone and start talking about the situation again. Proves just how dumb you really are. And for you to, you know, start addressing Carson, she tried to get on your live. She called you out. She invited you to hers. She was ready to address it head up with you at that time and match receipt for receipt, but you punked out. So my question is, Shitty Mouth Arionne, why now? And you calling this woman a ex-stripper? She probably was an ex-stripper or whatever, and she's admitted to that. But the operative word is ex, which means she no longer do that. I don't think anybody had a problem with her about being a stripper, because for me, she was making an honest living. She was taking care of her kids, her family, or what have you. So if that's what she chose, then that's what she chose. Apparently, she got out of it what she needed to get out of it, and she moved on. She's elevated. Look at her now. You're still in the same position, in the same predicament that you were in when you first start dealing with Martell. So what does that say you? What does that say about you? So maybe you need to take a page out of her book and see how she was able to elevate her life coming off of being a stripper. See, Martell is an ex-con allegedly, but he was able to elevate his life. Well, Melody did, but you're not still making him pay for that. So why you still going after her for what she used to do but is no longer? I have way more respect for her than I would have for you on any given day of the week, because what she did, she made an honest dollar. She wasn't waiting on the side for some man or somebody to give her $1. She earned it. And we weren't charging or, you know, going to her page, getting on her lives because of her being a ex-stripper. We only wanted to know how she got on the show, her connection to Melody, but being friends with you and Tisha. That's the only thing we wanted to know. And once we found that out, it was like, oh, okay. So if you had something to say about the whole Sexgate situation and you was ready to debunk whatever she had said about you, you should have been said it. If it was really true, because trust me, most people, if you lie on them, they coming up and they raising from the dead trying to protect their name. So it further lets us know how much of a punk you are. And you sitting up here talking about Melody. You still ranting and raving about this tape, talking about if you had one, or if you wanted to, talking about you seen it, and if you wanted to put it out, you could. Well, first of all, if my man, my husband, or whomever was to show me, or even told me that he had it, I would be pissed. Because what's the need for you to still have it to remind you of what you once had, will never have again? And for him to show it to you and for you to review it, did he tell you this is, what you should be doing? Because maybe you're doing it, but you're not doing it right. And that's why you're not the wife. And that's why he had to show you the video. And it further debunks what he said that she didn't do for him. And that's why he needs you. And you should feel so dumb because he told you, okay, this is what you need to do. And you did it thinking you were going to get wifed up, and you still haven't been wifed up. So then he showed you the tape and said, well, no, you got to do it like this. And he still hasn't wifed you. But my question is, like Melody said, what's your end game? Because she's already admitted that there's a tape. But see, the problem is, it was with her husband, her ex-husband, which you still haven't managed to capture yet. She gave him to you. So he was free will to marry whomever he wanted to, and he still hasn't chose you. But you still sticking by his side. Why? You haven't elevated at all. You still, even though he's not in a relationship, you still a side chick to the other women that he haven't even showed. Don't you sound dumb? Don't you feel dumb? And if you talking about the show that, that they needed you, they talking about you for their ratings because the show is on life support and the ratings dropped and they need you to get the ratings up, you're dumber than I thought you were. Because if it's a show that is talking about me, I can't be on, and they making money off my name, the show would be gone if they was waiting on me to bring the ratings up. And I'm not making $1. You have got to be kidding. That's just further let people know how dumb you are. You should be happy right about now, you and your man, Martell. And while you're talking about Melody and all the stuff about what you can say or what you can drop and what you can have leaked to the blogs, I don't really think you have anything relevant, because if you did, you would have dropped it. Because as bad as I hear you living from pillar to post, no stable environment for you or your kids, I really don't think you have anything really relevant that people will want to hear. Because if you did, you would have used it to make $1 instead of sitting up there waiting on Martell Lovemere Tunstfield checks, because he ain't got no other way to make no money. Maybe that's why you had to come out and help the ratings, because your Because you know, if Martell checks goes away, if Love and Marriage Huntsville is done away with, neither one of y'all gonna eat. But you talking about Melody. Melody businesses are good. Even her kids have businesses. She's not dependent on Love and Marriage Huntsville checks. See, she didn't put all her eggs in one basket like you did with Martell. You put all your eggs in one basket thinking that he was the breadwinner, the front runner of the household, and it was that he was carrying everything, carrying all the businesses. And you soon found out that you chose wrong. Melody house is secure. Only thing we see in your house is maybe you sitting in this little bitty crushed space. You don't spread out in your household to show nothing. I mean, the one time you was in your kitchen, it was like, oh, okay, now you finally in a new environment. And that wasn't that big. Melody has 2 luxury cars. Where your cars at? While you talk, since you talking about Melody, her family just bought more property and a business. Can you say the same? Her kids are in private school. You can't keep your child in school. Melody traveling quite frequent by herself and with her kids. She not stressing. She doesn't need Love and Marriage Huntsville checks. So you still trying to taunt her? How can you? Instead of taunting her, maybe you should be trying to look at what she's progressed, how she elevated after the divorce, when Martell he haven't even got off the ground yet. But you still believe in his lies and his bull mess that he feeding to you. He's still trying to find you a stable house to rent an apartment. But you still feel the need or feel like you should, you can comfort her. How can you comfort someone that you can't even compare to? You and Melody name shouldn't even be brought up in the same sentence. You online and your kids crying because they're hungry. Their stomachs hurt. Every last one of Martell businesses or whatever he tried to do has sunk. He ain't made no money. But you still gonna stand by him. Yeah, that's my man. I'm gonna stand by him. And when you was talking to this lady and you asked a question, should you respond or how should you respond? That further lets me know what Carson stated. That you called her asking her for her advice. What should you do? That further lets me know that you did do that. Because why you gotta ask somebody, what should you do? Girl, you know what you should do. You're a woman. You got intuition. You should already know what you should do. You know what right from wrong. You ain't that slow, but you play that way. Because you figure, I done been playing slow all this time. And I've been playing the game. So, because you don't want to let the years go, you counting the years that you've been hanging on trying to win this man. You trying to prove a point? Girl, F that point. You better move on because your daughter is watching you. And what she's learning is it's okay. It's okay. Your son is watching. So he's going to be growing up watching his dad disrespect his mom and his mom allowing it. And he may just be the next Martell Holt, acting just like him or worse, because he's learned from the best. He's seen it firsthand. Do you really want your kids growing up in that environment, seeing that mess? Your daughter may have a chance because at least she get a break to go to her dad's house, I assume. So hopefully she gets a break from all your mess, and she get to see a real happy family and can smile and enjoy herself and eat a decent meal. But oh my goodness, your son, and I'm not talking about your kids because I don't do that, but I'm just saying, you shouldn't be doing this because you know your kids are watching. And even if they can't understand today the full of what's going on, they will. One day they will see all of this. And like I say, I hope Melody bury you and Martell in court and they put y'all under the jail. But you would have thought, I mean, because you did allude in your, well, no, you didn't allude to, you stated in your live that you were sick and you could not carry any more babies. You don't think that was karma enough? You had a baby by a married man and now you can't carry any more babies? And you don't feel as though that you need to shut up and start to repent? You dumber than I thought you were. And this is just my opinion. I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think.